This video is going to be how to print your guest cottage floor plan to a PDF file, and you'll complete this drawing and you'll print it, and you're going to turn in both your CAD file and your PDF file. So a couple of things before we get to the actual printing. The videos didn't really go into filling out your title block stuff, so it's real simple. The text is already there, and you double click it to go into the edit mode, and then you can edit the text. Okay. Should you double click and not hit the text, like you're in here and you've double clicked, that activates the viewport. You see right here, I'm in. So now I'm in model space. And when I'm inside the viewport, I got the crosshairs. When I'm outside, I have the cursor. If that happens and your viewport here gets highlighted, bolder, just double click outside the viewport, and that takes you back into paper space. Okay. So you want to fill out your title block, and let's see. We want to check our scale. It should be set to 1/4 inch. If it's not for some reason, you want to unlock, set it to 1/4 inch. Okay. It's right there, and then lock it back without moving anything around. Now you want to turn off, excuse me, the model space, which has the notes and this stuff over in model space. So we go to the layers, we turn off that particular layer. Okay, and so now we're ready to print it. And what we'll do is we'll go print, plot, and on page setup, we want to choose the cottage, which is the layout that's already created for it. Monochrome over here, we're going to print it black and white. For our printer, we want to come down and choose DWG to PDF. Okay, and then on our paper size, well, let me show you what happens with this first. Okay, so we would set our paper size here, and this is the orientation of the paper in the printer. Okay, so your drawing orientation is over here, and our drawing is landscape, horizontal. Most of the time, printing from the layout tabs, paper space, we're going to choose layout right here, and the scale is not this. This is not the scale of the drawing, but it's the scale of the paper. Okay, and our paper is going to print at a 1:1 because we're dealing with an English paper and an English printer. Usually we don't have to change plot offset. Now, here's an issue with this particular title block and paper is a PDF printer uses a larger print margin on the ends than most printers do. Okay, so let me escape and come back. If you look at, well, let me just cancel that. If you look at your paper, the little dash line right there, that's the print margins based on the page setup. If we go to page setup manager and we look at this, there's not a printer selected. Excuse me. Okay, so based on whatever printer you select, your printer at home, your printer in the lab, or at the office, the page margins are going to change, okay, based on that printer. So let me go back into my print command. Cottage, monochrome, DWG to PDF. Now I'm going to change, and I want you to do this also. I want you to change your paper size, and we're going to come up to the ANSI full bleed A 8.5 by 11. Okay, full bleed means it's going to print to the extreme edges of the paper, okay, as best it can. So we're going to set that up, and we want to go preview. Okay, and so now we've got both ends of our title block in there, our border. It's not centered in the paper, and this is where the X and the Y offset would come in. And if you want to play with that, let's add an 1/8 of an inch to both and just see how it looks. Okay, so you see that looks a little bit better. We could play with that, and if you do this, print regularly with the same layout, then you would have these already set up in your layout, in your paper space layout. Okay, so you want to get these settings here, just like I've got on the screen. Always before you print, always do a preview. And what we're looking for is our drawing centered, are the right layers turned on, or the right layers turned off. Okay, so you would not want to see any construction lines in printing, any of that background stuff from the model space border or the viewport. Okay, and then you go plot. You can plot here from the preview. You can go back to the screen, and we're going to plot it, and we'll save it in your same place where you've got all your work saved. Okay, so let me get down to where I'm saving all my work for this class. And you're going to name it. And I'm going to leave it just like that right there. You can delete out the layout 1. It adds that to it automatically. And then you can go save. And then it creates the PDF of your page there. And then when you submit this in Blackboard, you're going to submit both the PDF and the CAD file in the Dropbox. Okay, so if you have any questions or any problems with that, send me an email, come by and see me in the lab.